This function here is called a piecewise function because it comes in three parts. We have one rule when the domain is less than 0, another rule when the domain is between 0 and 1 inclusive, and another rule here when the domain is greater than 1. So if we're going to sketch it, we need to consider these three functions. So first of all, let's get our axes out, beautifully ruled of course, and then we will start. So there are my axes. Here we go. And of course, I will label them. So I'll make sure I have y and x written. And now my first rule is the line of negative x minus 1. So remember, it's got a gradient of negative 1 and it has a y-intercept of negative 1. So I'm going to draw a negative 1 in there. So 0 and negative 1. And I know it's got a gradient of negative 1. So my line is going to look something like that. So that's my first rule. That one's in red. Now let's do a second one. We'll do this one in another color. And we have a line that has a gradient of 2 and a y-intercept of 1. A gradient of 2 will look steep and positive. So it'll look like this. So there's my green one. And that'll finish where my x value will be 1. And when I substitute 1 into this equation, and I will use this equation because 1's included in this domain, then f of 1 will equal 2 times 1 minus 1, which is 1. So I know this point here, and it will be included. So I'm going to draw a green dot. Will be at 1 and 1. At the other end, down here, I know that 0 is included in this line, and I know my y-intercept is negative 1, so this point here is continuous. You can see continuous functions are a function where you don't ever have to take your pencil off the page, and you can see at this point here it's continuous, even although the rule changes. Now we've got a third rule here that starts just after x equals 1. So what we'll do is we'll substitute 1 in, but we know that because this doesn't include 1, I'm going to have an open point and then a line. My gradients are half, so let's find out f of 1 for my purple function is a half times 1 plus a half, which equals 1, which means that again my function will be continuous and this function will start just outside of the point 1, 1. So if I was going to draw the purple part, it would look like that, and my gradients are half, so it would go off in approximately this direction. And as you can see, my lines are all beautifully ruled. So my entire function will be this, this, and this, these three rules all combined, and they will be continuous. So if I want to, I could draw them like that, and my entire function is there in black. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe or like. Thanks.